Xoş gördük. Diaspor TV-nin bugünkü qonağı eston yazıçısı Küləklər şəhəri kitabının müəllifi Kersti Kivirüüt. Welcome, Kersti, to our studio.
Thank you for inviting me, and I especially thank for Komitet for organizing this event. And I hope that this three-day meeting will be start for many wonderful cooperation in the future.
Where your love for Azerbaijan come from?
Your question is very difficult because it's very not so easy to put in one sentence something huge and something irrational. I think people is the biggest inspirational source for me, and when approximately 15 years ago I started as a teacher joint youth project with Azerbaijani friends and colleagues, then it started actually at first people, of course, with their natural warmth, with their passion, sincerity, and then step by step all these layers of information about culture, about history, about the country itself. So it's just discovered itself like step by step, but it's continuous. And I discover every time when I have contact with Azerbaijan something new and something interesting. So it's growing.
At that moment, I want you to speak about your book, to give us a brief information.
Well, this is City of the Winds is the name of the book. This is actually in whole, this is quite easy adventure story if you put like this way. It's not going very depth on these layers I described before, but I tried to collect together some hints for Azerbaijani history, both ancient history and then some tragic event from 20th century, especially in Karabakh War and Khojaly tragedy. And I thought about my Estonian readers at first to introduce Azerbaijan through this easy adventure story and put this little bit in every layer of this history points. So yes, in general, yes, this easy adventure story about young man, young girl from Estonia, a guy from Azerbaijan, and this is also hint for some brief love story, and they discover something mysterious from the past of Azerbaijan, and they start to like follow this mystery, and then they put together with different stories and different experiences of people they met, and that of course when discussing about this 20th century Khojaly event, I really would like to have Estonians to know about the story of Khojaly genocide, and that's why I put this like one character who is an old man who has escaped from Karabakh, and he has this tragic background, but it's not going very depth. It gives a hint of the tragedy again, like every other hints I have in my book.
If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned Thor Heyerdahl in your book as well.
Yes, it was very inspiring, this Thor Heyerdahl theory about the migration of ancient Viking tribes from Caucasus to Scandinavia. I must admit that I faked it a bit because the story Heyerdahl told, that theory, was a little bit different. I told in my book because since there is an island in the Gulf of Finland, in Estonia, which in translation calls like the place for the Odin, and I really wanted to have this migration routes goes from Azerbaijan to this island, and that's why I drifted a little bit the route, but in general, yes, I was very inspired by this Heyerdahl idea that actually we are all connected somehow. And the Kobustan has very important place as a venue in my book, though there are some events going on in Kobustan also. Yes, and Heyerdahl also admitted that these gravings of the Kobustan, these wall paintings are very similar to the Scandinavian, the similar ones, so though there is clear connection.
Are there many Azerbaijanis in Estonia, and what is the relation between the two nations?
We have I'm very proud of Azerbaijani diaspora in Estonia, and I'm very proud that they are so active, especially Sanam, who is me today, Sanam Aliyev, and also Niyazi Hachiev is a long-term leader of the Azerbaijani community. So it's a very active community, and I'm not living in the Tallinn, but when I really miss Azerbaijan, I know that I can go to Tallinn and visit some events diaspora organizes. So I see that in Estonia that we have very active and wonderful diaspora, Azerbaijani. But it's clear that our relations as a country level has a little bit or even more become less after collapse of Soviet Union. So I think it's last time, or we need to eventually to rebuild these relations maybe, and I think it's very wonderful to start in cultural relations. So we visited today morning the Committee of Azerbaijani Literature organization, and we had some wonderful idea how we continue our cooperation at the cultural level. So it could be more active in the relations.
Are you familiar with Azerbaijani writers, poets, generally speaking, with Azerbaijani literature?
I think the most famous is Nasimi. We had this event, or Diaspora organized this jubilee event, and I think it's the most famous one. Also, today we met wonderful character and wonderful writer Cengiz Abdullayev also, and I didn't know that he was also translated into Estonian language, and I definitely read these books.
Your impressions about Baku, about Azerbaijan, about Azerbaijani people?
As I mentioned before, that people are the biggest source of inspiration. And knowing Azerbaijan for 15 years, I see how it's not. I don't obtain anymore this very plain stereotype about Azerbaijan. I see that people are so different, and there are totally different identity of Azerbaijanis who live in Baku and Azerbaijanis who live in rural areas. So there are so many different identities. So it's even not nice to have this one plain picture when people are so different. But I think it's maybe are common for our people that indeed Azerbaijan has very huge passion for openness and inviting guests, and I now understand how important for Azerbaijani identity is to be this open and welcoming country. So and it's really there. You can feel it when you visit Azerbaijan. And also some kind of inner flames. Azerbaijan is Baku is city of the wind, but also country is the country of flames. And I see in people also that there is some inner flame that I haven't met Azerbaijani who is like cold inside. So it's I see the flame in every person. Even if there is a city person or somebody from rural area, it doesn't matter. It's flame is there. So maybe this impression I have.
Kersti, thank you for coming. I hope your book will be a bridge between two nations. Thank you once more.
Again, thank you very much for reminding me here. So, and I really hope that we have some further joint activities to go. So, with committed.